this is Coco. Welcome back to my channel. Recently we hit 50k subscribers, so in celebration of that, I decided to make a Q&A. Today I will be answering all the burning, spicy, awkward, oddly specific questions you guys have for me. We're gonna start with the hottest tea since our attention span is so short these days. The first question, which is also the most inquired question about me, is what is my ideal type? My 16-year-old self would have been so excited to answer this question, but if adulthood taught me anything, it is that we never get what we want. Instead of thinking of it as like an ideal person that I like, I think of it more like an ideal relationship. So in this case, my ideal type would be someone that shares a lot of similar attributes and values and hobbies and passion as me. So we can thrive and work hard together, but then also spend quality time. What type of guys are you into? Looks and personality. In terms of looks, again, it varies a lot depending on the K-drama that I'm currently watching. I really like when people have a sense of style and taste and they put work into how they look. I think that's really attractive on its own. And in terms of just like how you look, it varies because the people that I find attractive is like all over the place. So I don't think I have a specific type for how you look. And in terms of personality, I like people that take what they do very, very seriously and they are very hardworking in whatever discipline they're in, but at the same time, they have this like really goofy side. Someone that's like really fun to be around. I think that's what I like. Single? Question mark. And the answer is single, period. How many exes? 1. Is it important to have a boyfriend? Are you looking for it? And my answer for that is yes. I think it's important to have a boyfriend, and I think I am looking for it, but not actively searching. It's kind of like I am open to the idea of being in a relationship. As an extrovert, I gain a lot of my energy through like social interactions. So I think like being in a relationship can be kind of healthy for me mentally. If you find the right person, they should complement your life. They shouldn't be like taking away your life. Ideally, I would have a boyfriend and he would also be really busy and I would also be really busy. And once in a while, well, like we hang out, but I don't know. That's just how I think. Next question, how tall are you? I am 168 centimeters, which is 5'6" for my American viewers, which is apparently 18.5% of you guys. That is how tall I am, and I am very satisfied with my height. How was your high school life? Ooh, I think this is a really important question because a lot of people kind of just see a person in their current state and they're like, oh my god, I wish I'm more like them. But honestly, I was really shy and introverted in high school. I wasn't involved in many things. As a result, I think I was just like a very low-key and like almost like invisible little girl. I brainwashed myself into thinking that I'm an introvert, that I'm shy, that I won't have fun if I'm with a lot of people. And obviously, like, growing up proved everything wrong. So that's me in high school. Favorite movie? I think it would be Ratatouille from Pixar. The idea that like a little rat wants to become a chef. Even when I was back in New Zealand, I was like, oh, like I'm so envious of these kids in like New York where they have all these creative opportunities and I'm stuck with like sheep and cows. But I proved to myself that everything is possible. So yeah, thanks to Ratatouille, I am chasing my dream now. What is your favorite quote? Which is very specific, but I actually do have one. And it is a quote by Coco Chanel. She said, "My life didn't please me, so I created my own life." And honestly, I love this woman. I don't know whether it's because we have the same first name or anything, but I actually have this whole like child illustration book called I Am Coco. And I think this quote goes along the same lines as like the Ratatouille message. I know it sounds all like woo-woo, like you should chase your dream, you should like be the person that you want to be, but you honestly do have the agency to do that. Favorite comfort food after a long day? I love cooking, so my favorite comfort food would be tomato and egg noodles. And maybe in the future video, I will show you guys how I make it, but it's absolutely delicious. How many languages do you speak and can you say something in them? So first, I speak English. Hello, my name is Coco, nice to meet you. And then I also speak Mandarin. 大家好，我的名字是 Coco, 然后非常高兴认识你. And then there are 2 languages that I learned at one point in my life. I can say 안녕하세요, 저는 코코입니다. 만나서 반갑습니다. I can say bonjour, je m'appelle Coco. Enchanté. Okay, that's it. Have you been to Singapore? Do you want to go? I have not been to Singapore, and that's actually very high on my travel list. The next place I want to travel would be like the Southeast Asia area. I really want to go to Thailand, Vietnam, and then Singapore, Malaysia, and all these cool places. So yeah. What is one thing that can instantly make your day better? I think it would just be music, because sometimes I feel really stressed out and all I have to do is just, Alexa, play jazz. What's your biggest regret in life? In terms of regrets, I usually think of it as like two categories: the action regrets and the inaction regrets. The inaction ones are the ones that actually get to me. If I really have to pinpoint something, it would be I wish I did more sports as a kid, because that would make me more athletic and more into the outdoors and exercise. Next question, greatest fear. My old biggest fear used to be cockroaches, but obviously I overcame that. And now my biggest fear is probably the loss of a loved one, because I have yet to experience that. And it's always the things that I haven't experienced that kind of scare me, because I don't know how I'm gonna take it. Who is your favorite K-pop idol? I used to be a humongous ARMY when I was in high school. I got really into them around 2014, to a point where it's like there wasn't a single piece of media with BTS in it that I have not consumed. I loved everything about them, but obviously now that I'm like grown up and busy, I don't have time to kind of follow K-pop groups, but nevertheless, they have a very special place in my heart. Where do you get your fashion inspo? I don't really have a fashion inspo, which is kind of why I made that Jenny video, because I wanted to explore the options of clothing out there. What is something that would be unexpected to most people about you? I honestly think is my lack of experience in relationship. Given the amount of relationship advice that I give out to people, it's really surprising to most people that I have barely been in a serious relationship. What is something that would currently be of help of you? Probably a serious committed relationship. Other than that, probably like a more healthy routine. Can you adopt a cat and do cat videos? I would love to eventually adopt some sort of pet or animal companion. Right now, I just hang out with my little plushie. How do you remain slay in such time of unslayness? That is the best compliment I've received in my life. Thank you very much. Coding stress reliever. Describe New York City as specifically as possible. Okay, New York City. A city of dichotomies. A place that is filthy yet attractive, exhausting yet exhilarating, high stress yet therapeutic, humbling yet inspiring. You get to dine at the world's finest restaurant, then make a prolonged eye contact with a subway rat. A slice of pizza is 99 cents, but a square foot of an apartment costs more than an arm and a leg. It's one of the hardest cities that you will ever live in, but if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Honestly, it's great. So, I love New York. Alright, now we enter the second segment of this Q&A. So first of all, this is a burning question that you guys have been having. It's been 2 months since you guys posted on Joma and NYC. Is all okay? We are not on bad terms. We do not have beef. We still hang out, we still see each other, but we are no longer working together because school started for me and I also have other obligations. So what we did was kind of more like a summer intern, if you think about it that way. For those of you who don't know, Joma is an YouTuber based in New York City, but there are no hard feelings. We didn't like have any drama. Why did you choose to intern for Joma? I found it really inspiring that he's really into film and high quality production, because for me personally, I want to one day become a film producer. So I really wanted to work alongside someone that can inspire me in different ways. I don't know, I was also kind of curious about crypto and just like coding and like everything. So I was like, this person has a lot of knowledge in a lot of different areas. So I think it would be really cool to like get some insight in that. Let's be real, what are your actual thoughts on Joma? I think you guys are expecting some hot ass tea, but that's just what I explained earlier. I think he is really talented and he's pretty funny, I think, most of the time. Yeah, so Joma, if you're watching this, can you pay me the remaining of my paycheck, please? Thank you. One thing you love about working with Joma, my favorite thing is probably just like hanging out, because we share a lot of similar like preference, especially with food, which is great because if we want to share, then like it's perfect. Okay, enough about Joma. Now it's all about me. What drives you to start YouTube? Ever since I was like 13 or 14 years old, I have been taking videos when I travel and making these little vlogs and posting them on Instagram. And you know, my friends have always told me I love the way that you capture things, which is like a huge ego boost for like a 14-year-old. So I was like, oh my god, one day I'm gonna start making bigger videos. When I was 18, when I graduated high school, I got like a full-time retail job, and with my first like full paycheck, I decided to buy myself a vlogging camera, which is still the camera that I use till this day, which is a Canon G7X if you're curious. My main two motivation is to, one, create videos that can be helpful for people, and then the second reason is just to capture my life and capture my youth. And I am just so grateful that I even had that mentality when I was 18 years old, because now I have this whole library of memories that I can just look back on, and I feel really lucky. Do you plan on making self-help personal growth video? I actually do, and I really want to, because I think the videos that I am most satisfied with are videos that I kind of put in a little element of self-help. Where do you see yourself in 5-year time as a creator and as a person? As a creator, I want to be a creator with a lot of purpose and someone that I can just be really proud of my work. And same goes with me as a person, just being proud of who I am, my work, and being truly confident. What's the best thing about studying at NYU and living in New York City? This one is such an easy answer. It is definitely the creative people that I get to meet. I cannot explain how happy I am in this phase of my life solely because of how many creative people I've met in this year. It's not just about like, oh, meeting a YouTuber or like, oh, meeting someone that is like successful. I think just meeting anyone that's like-minded, anyone who loves capturing like moments in their life. I've met people that are writers, I've met photographers, I've met videographers, artists, painters, filmmakers, and it's so like fascinating that once I was in this small town in New Zealand where I couldn't even find like 2 people to like talk about a topic that I'm passionate about, and now all of a sudden I can co-create with people. I think it's so amazing. I honestly love it. So I'm so lucky, I'm so privileged, and so thankful for everything that I have. Plans after graduating from uni. I ideally would love to stay in New York City. I do have like a 4-year STEM OPT thing going on, so after I graduate, if I can find a job, I will try to work in New York City and simultaneously continue with my YouTube channel. How long do you study every day? It varies obviously, but I do have this system where I time block an hour and a half out every single day of the work week to dedicate myself to studying. And even on the days or the weeks where I don't have that much work to do, I still almost force myself to do some sort of school related work during that 1.5 hours, and that way I stay fully on top of everything. And I notice myself like completing assignments 5 days ahead of time, and that gives me a lot of more like bandwidth to do things I'm interested about, such as like YouTube. How do you not feel behind and lonely when you are alone? I think it's always nice to find a passion of yours or something that kind of gets you excited. For me right now it's YouTube, but back then it was K-pop. I think as long as you have something to look forward to every single day, it doesn't always have to be something super like meaningful and academic. The moment that you find an interest is the moment that you realize there are so many people in this world with the same interests and that you are not technically alone. So, tips regarding productivity. One thing that really did help is just to simply wake up 2 hours earlier than your normal wake up time. I can get so much more done in the morning, and even filming like a video in the morning feels a lot more energizing than I do at night, because coming home after a long day is just really exhausting. Someone asked me a question about being lazy to journal. And even though I try to journal as much as I can, I definitely don't journal daily. One rule of thumb that I like to approach life with is to take everything sincerely but not seriously. So in terms of journaling, I take every single journal entry very sincerely. I pour my heart out, I write everything that's on my mind, and I just write everything to the best of my abilities. But I don't take it too seriously. It doesn't have to be perfect. The handwriting doesn't have to be like amazing. And that way, it kind of like lowers the barrier for you to actually start doing it. What keeps you motivated? Family is always something that motivates me. Tips on how to survive college. I am still a senior, so I'm not quite done yet. But my main takeaway with college is that I think the entire point of college is to just grow and learn and make mistakes and just like know what's not good for you and what is good for you. Don't take things too seriously, but take it sincerely. So, you know, linking back to what I said earlier. This question is about burning out, and this person is also trying to make YouTube videos and they are about to reach 1,000 subscribers, but they want some tips on how to avoid burning out. I obviously have a lot to say about this because I used to be in the exact same place as you, and I think it almost took me a year or more to get to like 1,000 subscribers, because obviously when I first started, I didn't know what I was doing. Like one day I was making like how to get into NYU, and the second day I made like a closet clean out. It made it really hard for people to subscribe to your channel. So unless you already have this kind of niche that you're trying to build with your channel, otherwise just reassess why you're doing it. If you're doing it because you want to record your life, is there a way of making it more concise and more coherent throughout your channel? If you're solely doing it for the fame or money, my advice is to jump to like shorter form video creation. And if you want to stay on YouTube, try making some YouTube shorts. What method do you use to become so fluent in Chinese? One thing I did not mention earlier in my videos is that I actually did spend 4 years of my life studying in China. I went there during elementary school, and I was like a little 9-year-old who couldn't really speak Chinese at that point, but I had to go through like the public schooling system where everything is super intense. We had to memorize poems. That's definitely an advantage I have over like an average person that was born and raised in a foreign country. But I think watching Chinese drama actually helps because it's always like mimicking how other people speak in their own language that makes you improve and sound more natural as a language speaker, as opposed to like following a textbook or anything. As a fellow ENFJ, how do you not people please? With the help of my YouTube channel, I realized that there are different ways of showing people your worth and showing people the kind of person you are, not just in exchange of a favor. How do you manage to maintain friendship despite your work and school? People that I see the most are the people that are attached to a certain hobby of mine. So, for example, I really like cooking. I have this one friend that we like to explore recipes with. So we have this shared notes where we jot down every single time we see a fun recipe. So now, every single time I have a recipe I want to make, I look at that note and I'm like, oh, I'll hit my friend up and we can make it together. So that's why I see her like on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. Second example, I have this friend that I like going to the gym with. So whenever I need to exercise, I'm like, hey, I'm going to the gym, are you going? So yeah, as opposed to thinking of a person and then coming up with a plan, it's nicer when you attach a friend to a plan, and also makes the friendship bond a lot stronger because you guys share this like common interest. How do you overcome hardships in your life? I think life is just like the economic business model. It really does happen in oscillation. Those recession periods, even though it's like devastating and it's like, oh, I'm never gonna see the end of it. After that, you're gonna slowly go up and you're gonna experience a boom. But that is also not the peak of your life because eventually you're gonna drop down again. But the next time you drop down, it's not gonna be as low as last time because you kind of have some experience dealing with these things. But it doesn't mean you're not gonna experience hardship. I think it's cool that life is like sorted out that way, because without the lows, you can't really feel the happiness as intensely as you would have, which kind of dives into the next question about the meaning of life based on my perspective. I know a lot of people like to romanticize their life and see it as a movie, which I sometimes do too, but I think a more accurate metaphor would be seeing it as like a video game, because obviously everyone's life is born differently. Some people just started with easy mode, some people start with like extra hard life mode or whatever. The player have the agency to play the game. You can have your life on easy mode and you can still fuck up. And even if you play in hard mode, even though it's difficult, it just makes you a more resilient and high skill player. So it's really up to you to see whether it's a good thing or not to be born with like a golden spoon or to be born with more like difficulty. And linking back to the whole hardship thing, it's just like in video games, you know, certain levels are more difficult than other levels, but it doesn't mean that you have to give up. Hold on to your console and keep playing, and play really hard and become the winner of your game, because that's what makes life exciting, right? Yeah. Alright, so that is it for the questions. I hope your question got answered, but if not, please don't take it personally. I did receive a lot of questions. Not trying to flex or anything, but we do have 50k people right now. And if you're a new viewer, I hope this video helped you get closer to me and know me better on a deeper level. If you have any other burning questions that you want to know so badly, feel free to comment down below in this video as well, and I will reply to them. What is out there to say? Oh yeah, my new ambition with YouTube is to create weekly videos, and I want to keep myself accountable by uploading on Thursdays. Because it's the middle of the week, we need a little break to kick through the rest of the week, so Thursday is the perfect day for me. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on Thursdays. Bye! Oh, someone really liked my pink guitar and they asked me if I could play something. Maybe if I hit 100k, I will play something on the guitar and sing for you guys. Exciting! Woohoo!